This video, I really want to hear your guys' opinions. So during this video, or if you're done watching it, please write them down in the comments below. And the topic is, and I think it's really awesome, is old tech worth buying? Should it still be usable? Should it still be on the market? Should you invest your own money into something like that? And well, let me tell you, I have. I bought a D700 probably over a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. And the D700 it's probably almost, I think it's like 7 years old by now. I'm not 100% sure, but it is old technology. It's not a D800. It's not a D4, a D4S. It's still on the older end, and that's just the reality of it. And the same thing for some of the lenses. I own the 28 to 70, which I did a review on, and that lens is pretty old as well for the times. But that's the common stigma out there is, there's old technology, there's older lenses, camera bodies, flashes. Are they still usable? Especially lenses that they go back 20 years. Can you still use them on these newer bodies? And the great part, and thanks to technology, and obviously that's all innovation, you can use them now. Most of the time it will meter on the newer, higher end bodies. If you use an entry-level Canon, Sony, Nikons, they probably won't work right. They definitely won't autofocus, but on the higher end, over $1,000, you're gonna get your autofocus, you're gonna get your metering. Those things are gonna work, and especially for camera bodies. If they work, they're going to work. That's the thing. Just try to get them with a lower shutter count. Is the older technology worth investing in? And in my honest opinion, it really is. And I do want to caution you real quickly that when you do invest in older gear, yeah, it's not covered by a warranty. And when you send it in for servicing and as time goes on, the parts that these companies have, Canon, Nikon, whoever, they do become less and less. So if your camera breaks or a lens breaks, you need to fix a motor, they might have something called a parts hold, which basically means you send it to them and they're waiting on parts. And if there is no part, you're kind of SOL. That doesn't happen quite as much, but as time goes on, another 2 or 3 years of my D700, I might run into problems where they can't have certain things either right away or at all. So they might need to wait from a, part from Japan or something. But if it's not there, then it's just kind of how it is. It's broke. So that is one huge thing that you're taking when you're buying used gear or older technology. There's no warranty. If you have insurance, there's a possibility that if something happens that you could be covered, but it all depends on what you have, and it's case-to-case basis. I do like buying used gear. I do really recommend it because you can save a couple $100 here and there. And as long as you're smart and you know what you're looking for, well, you can get away with it. So older technology, I think it is really great to invest in. But there's certain things. A lot of people say, oh, should I buy the Nikon D610 or should I go with the Nikon D700? Now the D610 is new. It's basically a D600, but it's newer technology. It's got video. But if you have certain things aside, if video is not an option, you're just really looking at the stills aspect, the D700 is a strong camera. It's not a plug for D700 or review, but just in that example, it's a really strong camera and it's all about low light capability. Now older technology, especially on the lower end models, they're not going to fare well in low light anymore. They top out about 1600 ISO. So that's something really to keep in mind when you're buying lower end gear. But when you're up towards the full frame gear, it doesn't hurt as much. But the great thing about the used market, especially when you're just getting into photography, you could buy a Canon T2i, you could buy a Nikon D200 for under $300. I'm pretty sure you can get a T2i for under $300, and you can get a nice kit to start off. And once again, that's when you really start to learn photography. So old technology, is it worth it? I think it really, really is. You just have to be smart about knowing what you're buying, knowing that you are taking a risk. Make sure you get all the details, make sure the equipment's in great condition, and it can be really beneficial for you. You can save some money, and you can really work for something more later on. I might want to upgrade my D700 in the next year or a year or two to something just better, maybe newer, but I really like the technology of it was. Yeah, there is faster cameras out there, but do I really need something fast? Am I shooting the Olympics? No. So do something realistic for what you're doing. As I said, I believe in it, but know that there are obviously risks. And once again, what is your guys' thought on this? I thought it was a really cool topic. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Keep an eye out.